Are here back again with Stepping Up with Lady One Step on a beautiful Thursday night. We are here at WJZZ Cool TV, the original. Let me tell y'all something. This is the original jazz station on earth. It started right here. So you in a legendary seat with a legendary, the godmother of the DJs. And I'm talking about who? You are stepping up with Lady One Step. Let's give a round of applause, y'all. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes, Lady One Step. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to be here. Glad to be here. We got a few things going on this evening we're going to talk about.
Yes.
Hope everybody is tuned in and ready. We got some important things to talk about.
Yes.
We're going to have a little fun. We're going to be a little serious. We're going to do something for the community.
Yes.
I'd like to introduce my guest.
Yes.
Straight up diagonally across from me is Mr. TC. He is the owner of the Good Night Lounge.
That's right.
Hello.
Located on West Warren.
Yeah.
And very across from me is the CEO and founder, Miss Angela Holloway. She's the CEO and founder of Justice for Dre Foundation.
All right.
And she's going to be talking about how gun violence affects our community and families in general, and how laws have been passed in order to help the families that were affected by gun violence.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, we want to get started because I know what you're saying for Dre. Was that your son?
His name was Dre Holloway. And here is his poster.
Okay.
He was killed March 25th, 2017.
Oh, wow.
2 days before his 34th birthday on Lappin Row in Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
So I started my foundation in honor of him to give back to the community. He always walked with me, AIDS walk, cancer walks.
Turn it that way to that camera. I want to make sure. Can you get that camera?
Yeah.
Is it there? Yeah. Yeah, we'll zoom in. Zoom in on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is my oldest son.
He was your oldest son.
So this prompted me to start the Justice for Dre Foundation. He always supported me through AIDS walk, cancer walks, whatever I wanted to do, he was there. So a way for me to give back to the community, I started the Justice for Dre Foundation in honor of him.
Wow. Now, when you said justice for Dre, did you get with other parents that lost a child? Do you what type of programs?
Well, it's to give back to the community as far as resources. When I lost him, I found out the hard way. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know the resources that were available through the state of Michigan. And what I found out is that if you have a loved one that was killed or murdered in the state of Michigan, they pay for the funerals, therapy, compensate you if you miss wages and things like that. It was a very low amount. And today the governor signed a bill into law.
Say it.
It's called the Crime Victims Compensate Law that was passed into law today by Governor Gretchen Whitmer. I'm nervous.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And it is for therapy, wage reimbursement, and mental health issues for those families that have lost loved ones. So that's what the bill is for, and she signed it into law today. So therefore, you can get compensated for funerals, cremations, if your loved ones need therapy, if you have mental health issues concerning your loved ones, because everyone's not strong enough to deal with it.
Absolutely not.
So yeah, that got signed into law today.
Oh, wow. Now, because I was watching the news today, y'all, and it said something about the governor's going to give everybody $500. I don't know if that was the same thing, because I didn't see because I had to leave. But so that wasn't what they was talking about.
That's something different. Okay. That's something different. Actually, April 28th, I was invited by Bernice Ringo of the Luke Legacy. She lost her son. Even though losing my son, I gained a million more families and moms, and they invite me to speak. They invite me to come and march and walk and things like that. So I was invited by the Crime Survivors Safety and Justice and also the Luke Legacy. So we went up on the 28th to Lansing, and we marched and we watched the Senate sign this bill to go over to the governor. So they signed it in on the 28th, and today she actually signed it into law. So now if something, and it's sad to say that there's so many murders in Michigan, and they are ranked the 21st when it comes to murders in the nation. So therefore, with the crimes that, people are not ready. Death is sudden, it's unexpected. So they have this help now that can help them bury their loved ones correctly.
Okay. Now I have to ask, and I don't want to dwell on that because I know it's sentimental and it's personal. But did they find the person who?
The thing about the person who killed my son was someone that we knew.
Oh.
And I always tell people when I go out and speak,
Ugh.
my first sentence is watch the people closest to you because they are the only ones who have access to you.
Oh yes.
And it was
That's
someone
right.
that was close to our family.
Oh boy.
My son was shot 10 times and left on the street.
Oh.
People actually went to the hospital and said they were his relatives to see if he had made it because he could identify them.
Oh.
So it's heartfelt, but this needs to
Yeah.
be done because whether I know them or not, they have to pay. So the one person that was close to him is in jail, but not before killing another person. He went on a run, he killed another person, so now he's in jail.
Oh.
And at this time when my son got killed, he was less than 30 years old.
Wow.
So yeah, it doesn't matter who it is. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And no one has to be the judge and the juror on someone else's life. And no one, I just feel like no parent should have to go through losing a child, especially at the hands of another person that looks just like them.
Yes. I don't want to just keep asking questions. I'll let
Right.
Lady one step. I'll take my time.
Go
I don't
ahead.
mind.
Oh, okay.
I know the story.
Okay. A lot of times when we lose a child, because my grandson was murdered in 2020. He was 15 years old. When we lose someone, sometimes it's hard to get up and fight for that justice. I mean, what gave you the strength to get out here and fight the way you did for them to change these laws?
My son, anyone who knows me know I loved him, and when he died, he knew I loved him. So that was the most that I could do, and I get pleasure out of seeing and helping other families. My foundation, again, when I lost him, I had to go to the morgue and identify him by myself. I had to make arrangement by myself. I didn't know about the compensation laws. So my foundation gives those resources to other families that may not have the monies and need to know about these resources. Because one thing about the state of Michigan, they're not going to tell you. It's usually word of mouth. So when I can pass it on to someone else, then they can get the same benefits. And what I do, if a person doesn't have big families like I do, I'll go with them to the morgue if they need me to go
That's a great
and support them.
Right.
I've partnered with funeral homes for discounted funeral services.
Okay.
Printing shops for discounted, printing obituary T-shirts, however. Discounted flower shops too as well. So my foundation wants to help too as well with the cost of burying their loved ones too if they ever have to.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
On top of feeding homeless, doing purse disbursements for the domestic violence, the women, the children. So we give out supplies. Some homeless have new apartments. So I went to the NSO with two other foundations, not last Christmas, but the Christmas before. And we gave washing powder, different housing, household goods for them to get started too as well.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It really is phenomenal. We have to applaud you for being stand up. Because you didn't. I know what you went through, but when you touch other families, and like you said, I had to do this by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it made you so strong. And like let's go back up to your upbringing, your parents, for the strength. Are you your faith? Let's get into you for a moment, if you don't mind. Okay, your upbringing. How many children do you have?
I have 3 sons.
Yeah, 3 sons.
I have no brothers and sisters by my mom. My dad, I have stepbrothers and sisters by my dad. But I was raised by some of the strongest women ever. I was grateful enough to have my great-grandmother,
Okay.
my grandmother,
Yes.
my mother at one time, then myself, then my son. My son has a daughter, and now I have 2 great-granddaughters.
Okay.
So I was blessed enough to be raised by really strong women who taught me everything about from cooking to just life in general. So I can burn on stuff.
Okay.
But that was part of my upbringing, and I'm glad I had that. It takes a lot to do this, and I'm one step are really close. So I would tell her, like, I got to take a breather. Like, I'm not going to do anything. I really had to take a break because I was throwing myself into it. You get caught up in it. I mean, I would go out and walk and speak, and
Yeah.
I
She'd be
mean,
exhausted.
I
She
would be exhausted, and I work.
Okay.
And then I just got my master's last year, so I was in
Awesome.
school and I was marching and I was talking and I was all over the place. I was on Channel 2. I was Crime Stoppers. I was
Yeah.
volunteering for them, volunteering for me, doing everything. I mean, it was just crazy. And not
Yeah.
only that, my mom died from AIDS. So I do AIDS walks, and
Okay.
my oldest son was with me. That was the last walk we did together. And I have a son that's 23 who was just diagnosed with lymphoma cancer. He's in remission right now. So I do cancer walks.
Right.
So for me, I have to keep going because I'm not a person that's going to lay down and just say, this is over, this is it. I get pleasure out of doing it and seeing when I can make someone else smile and help someone else, that's good enough for me.
And see, we need more people with compassion like she has. We
Right.
don't have enough compassion in this world.
That's right.
And you can't learn compassion. You're either born with it or you're not. You can't. I can't teach you how to be compassionate.
That's true.
Either you're born with, and she is the most compassionate person I have ever met in my life.
It's awesome, and I can see why.
Through it all, it's not about me. I'm such a background person. No matter how many times I do this, I'm so nervous all the time. I'm such a background person. I would be the person that would give $1 million. You wouldn't even know I gave it to you. That's just how I am.
Right.
I don't want the spotlight of it all. I just want to help and touch other families because as a mother who lost a child, you want your child to bury you. Unfortunately, I don't want to have to bury no more of my other children, but it taught me a real valuable lesson about friendship, about family, because we knew the person. Some of my family members, it divided us because one person has a child by this person's cousin. She was given information about the investigation and stuff like that. It divided the family too as well. So it taught me a valuable lesson about trust.
Yes.
So I learned some things from it, and now it sticks with me on how I should conduct myself and things I should do when it comes to this, when it comes to my son.
Yes. Not. I mean, I know it started with your son, but the way you're touching, I mean, you were part of something that changed the whole law, the system, the governor had got involved because your energy and your perseverance. See, that's what people got to understand. You persevered. You said, I'm going to be at this walk. I'm going to do this. This is going to happen. And greater things are still going to continue to happen for you because of your strength. See, I'm not going to get too deep, but a black woman is more closer to the Most High than what she thinks. You know,
I've heard men say that before.
Because it's true. Even though we've been taught one thing, but it's another way. But we'll get into that once, maybe off the air. But your perseverance, because anything that you want, the strength is there. And, you can feel it. I feel it in her too. You know what I mean? Because I seen it in my mother. My father died when I was 3. And I had to come with my mother and my sisters. My father had children with other, but I came with my mother and my sisters, and I used to see my mother used to go to work. She got raped at a bus stop. You know what I mean? But she still had to get back and get to work because the lights got cut off. When I see things, and then I seen my wives. I was married a couple times, and I really seen how great they were since we're divorced and separated, and I'm older, that I can really see it because I'm thinking one way that a man, but then I'm saying like, wow, they don't add that greater half. You know what I mean?
Didn't show you that early.
Yes.
But it's a different day and age too. When our parents or grandparents were together, they stayed together for the family.
Yes.
If they were into it or disrespect, we didn't even know.
Right. Right.
And nowadays, there's no respect for women, children, elderly, animals, no one.
Yeah, especially children.
When you said how it affects the community, if you can't wear what you want to wear because of fear of someone robbing you by gunpoint, you can't drive what you want to drive.
No, you can't.
You can't walk in a neighborhood. My son was walking a block from where he was. One thing about it, He called me and told me he was on his way, but he was upset. He didn't tell me what was going on. He just said, I'll be there. But he's like me. When we get upset, we walk.
Okay.
He walked a block to a gas station, made it back to a corner. And the thing about the video is a person was so scared in the neighborhood to give the video up because they had to live there. It was a year before we got the video, seeing my son's murder. And he walked to a truck that looked familiar or however, and then you seen him turn around and run. So it affects where a person lives because she didn't want it,
Right.
to happen at her house.
Right.
You know, it was my loss, but she had to live there in a neighborhood that she said she lived there for 35 plus years.
Right.
You know, so it affects everything
Yes,
to do with where you live, what you drive, where you go. You can't walk at a certain time,
Yeah.
everything.
You can't be a witness because
witness
You're
intimidation.
You're afraid of the people that may retaliate.
And I want to say this, I work for a law agency. I've been with the government for 21 years. And I see witness intimidation. I see other people in jail that have people on the outside doing something to these people for not, just don't want them to show up to court, for not, taking the money or siding with them or however the case may be. It's real.
Yeah.
It's real. And you'd be so surprised how many people do this for other people that's locked up.
Man, yeah.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. Yeah. I mean, no one can come to me and say, hey, go to this lady house. And I'll be like, what is you crazy? I'm not. But people will really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they really,
afraid.
I mean, they think it's a loyalty, but it's not.
Loyal
it's not
to the wrong person for the wrong reasons.
Right. Mainly, I guess, out of fear. Wow. Yeah. But somebody don't have fear. It's right here to prove that you're not afraid of anything. And you know what I mean? That means
tough.
Yeah, it shows. I mean, it shows.
I am. I had to raise my boys, and I can't teach them how to be a man, but I can instill values and morals in them.
Absolutely.
That's just where I'm at.
There you go.
I don't do disrespect. I don't do disrespect for my relationships. I don't do disrespect for my kids. I will cut up. Okay. I mean, life is too short.
Right.
I want to be happy. I want to see my kids happy. I want to be happy in this world, but there's certain precautions that we have to take because of the violence.
Yes.
In our city.
And
for a city that's
getting worse.
It's getting worse. But for a city that's trying to build up, I mean, beautiful downtown, beautiful arenas, beautiful venues, you still have to be on the lookout.
Yeah.
You still watching for everything.
Because if you notice the last 2 years, every time it gets 80 degrees or better, they cut up in Greektown. Every time there's something going on in Greektown.
Mm-hmm.
And Greektown, it's always crowded down there because it's pleasant, it's well lit, it's a bunch of restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
But then you turn around and it's people in a shootout, and the police is like ducking because they shooting at each other.
Yeah. Look, before you take a station break, well, go ahead and take the station break. I'll just ask you after you take this station break. I'm gonna get used to
You are watching Stepping Up with Lady One Step live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other social media platforms. And we are here with the CEO, founder of Justice for Dre, Angela Holloway. And we are here with my man TC from Goodnight Lounge over on West Warren. And we're going to be speaking to him very, very shortly. Stay tuned.
Yes. Now, when you were saying that, and most of these are done by young people, like in Greektown, the shootings. Mm-hmm. Is it the upbringing? What are we missing?
It is. I think it's upbringing because these new millennium parents are too busy wanting to be their kids' friend instead of being a parent. I cannot be my children's friend.
Right.
I can be friendly, but I can't be your friend.
Right.
And they reward bad behavior. You get D's in school, but I'm going to still get you these $250 Jordans because you want them, and I want you to be fresh.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it has, over the last 5 years, I definitely what you're saying is totally true. But from what I see is that these young kids, the kids of these, they just intimidate their parents off the rip. No respect. At all. It ain't even about, they just don't have no fear. There's nobody disciplined, nobody doing anything, no fear. They don't fear anybody. And it's like, wow, but yet You're living under my home, my
Mhm.
roof. I'm feeding you. I'm clothing you. You're eating up my food and all of that thing, but you don't respect me. You know what I'm saying?
Because they learn at a young age, if you put your hands on me, I'll call 911.
Right. And that was something that was before the millenniums, and it's crazy. They got it so mixed up. Like
Mhm.
the parents, the grandparents
Mhm.
don't mean nothing.
No respect.
Look,
Nothing.
But I want to
You know?
say this, and I stay on that topic. I'm not going to blame all the parents. I can't. Let me tell you, the street has a hold on a child that a parent can never get off.
That's true.
I grew up on East Warren and Newport, and let me
Mhm.
tell you, the streets, the friends have an influence that we could
Yes.
never.
Right.
I don't
That's
know
true.
why it's like that, but
Yeah,
they
but it
always
is.
feel like they have something to prove to
Yeah.
people that don't have nothing.
Right.
And I used to tell my sons all the time, you know, you work, you're supposed to ride good and live good too. Stop.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't go back to the hood. When you do,
Right.
you ride through, you keep going.
That's
If
right.
that's what you want to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But my oldest son has such a loyalty to that neighborhood. He would always go and he would, stay around and hang with them. The streets
Yeah.
has an influence.
Yeah.
That's
That
true.
is-
Social media,
Is the worst.
these video games.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean,
It
I
all-
want to talk
all-
about Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on Facebook and had how many pages on Facebook?
180 page manifesto.
Saying that he was going to kill as many black people as he could.
Right.
Okay. He drove 200 miles to this particular.
But that's what I want to. When you
I
say
was
Yeah.
that,
gonna
now
say- I was
peep
gonna
this.
speak
Yeah.
on
Peep
that
this
too.
now.
Yeah.
If I want to kill black people, I ain't got to go 200 miles. I
Right.
just go right there around
Right.
the corner.
Right.
But what I'm saying now, let's go with this. I just
Mhm.
just think about this.
Mhm.
You know how you have a dog whistle
Mm-hmm.
and the dog can hear, but you can't,
Right.
Yeah.
and it kills the dogs. They use
Same
frequencies. They even have frequencies in music.
Right.
Oh yeah.
The frequencies that they test on certain children, even if it's like in a video game, the frequencies can make you go shoot up a school.
Mm-hmm.
So they use these teenagers,
Yeah. The
the
frequencies
and now the
algorithms.
frequencies are what most black people now, young people are committing suicide.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch
Mhm.
watch certain things, see
Yeah.
everything is like you're being tested. They're being tested, like you said, just with the video games, with the music,
Mm-hmm.
and with the social media. But certain things can happen. Peep this now. When you're saying 200 miles,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the government want to change the gun laws, want to take your guns away. And they say, look, there's too many guns on the street. I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
just look at both sides.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if I can, trick a person that's kind of, that's
Mhm.
easily,
Yeah. Manipulated.
and then
Yeah.
I can get him to do this in this one particular place. 200 miles.
Mhm.
If I'm angry to kill somebody, I ain't gonna wait that long. That's too
Mhm.
much driving.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
If you investigated
Yeah.
where
But he had been there before.
he had been there
He had
before,
been-
so he
had
was
been
checking
scoping
out the
place.
surroundings. So he wanted to be where he knew a mass majority of blacks would be. And the white supremacies, he was KKK, all of this. But my problem with that is if he has a 183-page manifest on a platform that everyone can see, no one alerted anyone, no one said anything.
But see, right there, that shows you.
See that
Or
right
they-
there.
That
see what
shows
they wanna
you
see.
that-
they do.
Something is
Right,
designed there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
something that is, that it was a trigger. And if you hit that right note in them, because I'm noticing like all young kids go shoot up a school, you're just gonna go shoot up a school.
But then look at the schools. The Birmingham school who had the monkeys and had Barack Obama.
Yeah, I
as
seen
a
that
monkey.
today. I seen that.
So we're talking about educators for our children.
yeah,
And look what you're teaching.
yeah,
I mean,
Look
so
what
they
you're not
can't
teaching it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But when it comes to us as Black Americans, we're on a total pole to them. So therefore, we can be, associated with monkeys because that's how they look at us. But this is what you're teaching your class. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's why I think every child from middle school through high school should have an anthropology class taught by Dr. Jane Elliott. Because Dr. Jane,
With the brown eye,
blue eye,
yeah.
because she would make them have a different train of thought
Yeah.
as far as I think if everybody was taught anthropology by her, they would have a different take on race relations
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because she would explain it to the point where you would have to think like, well, okay, maybe she's right. And maybe I shouldn't feel this way, even though my dad and my mom keep telling me I shouldn't like these people because of their color.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'll pretend that I'm going along with the program of my mom and my dad, and then when I become an adult, I can go my own way.
Right.
Yeah.
Because hate is taught. It's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she said there's only one race, and that's humans, and
Mhm.
humans taught racism.
Yeah. Now, getting into that, I think that the governor, she just signed something about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
We got to ask ourselves, all of this, it's been here. We know it's been here, but now it's like, boom,
Mm-hmm.
Something
sister.
that didn't want to be spoken about
Yeah, but
5-10 years ago on the level that it is now.
Yeah.
That has been affecting us now.
Especially
And
in the
so-
black community.
Right.
is it in the water? Is it in the food? I mean, what is it that's making things so worse now? You know, we've been getting tested, and I'm not going to take
people became desensitized to everything.
But now are some people just saying mental health because they know they can
get
they
away
can
with
use
that.
that
now
as a-
everything
as
is
a-
mental
yeah.
health.
Right.
I mean, so now it's being every time you turn around, it's mental health. Like the young guy that beat up the elderly guy.
Right.
Now he
Yeah.
was deemed incompetent mental health, so he's not going to jail. He's in a mental facility. But were you competent enough to beat this person? You know what I mean? So that doesn't ride with me. I have no remorse and no love for any of that. So
I feel you.
my
I feel
thing
you.
is, if you're mental, then you're still going to jail. You're just going to get the help you need while you're locked up. So that's just my thing about it. But and now everything is mental health. Every time you turn around, it's mental, it's mental, it's mental. So I just think it's being abused too as well.
I think that there's a group of people out here that's taking advantage of us in a way that in a very cowardly act.
Mhm.
You know, such as the thing that happened in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't have done that in the city of Detroit. You couldn't have just came on in and did something, being that
No.
person. You couldn't have did that in the city of Buffalo, you know, in the neighborhood of black people.
Right.
You know, you couldn't have done that. But you chose this little high, you know, above middle class neighborhood or area to do that. You know what I'm saying? That was a cowardly act. Those people that was there, they was living there in peace. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do something like that, try that in the hood. See how far that goes. You know what I'm saying? I notice a lot of those type of things that happen. It never happened where we got some people that are fired back on them. You know what I'm saying? Like now,
Right.
with all the gun violence that's out there, why don't that sort of stuff happen at that time? They never join with all the gun violence that we have, and somebody doing anything, doing stuff like that. It never meet. I
Right.
wonder why.
That's true.
It never meet.
I wonder why the
You know?
perpetrator shooting never gets murdered. Like
Yeah,
people get murdered just to get pulled over for
yeah.
your
exactly.
lighters out. But
They've
okay,
been saving these guys.
you know,
You know what I'm saying?
So
They've
And it
been
may not
saving
happen
these-
in the hood because the hood is killing each other.
Yeah.
They don't have to. They know that
yeah.
Yep.
genocide
Yes.
over there. So they're not even
So they pick Miss
They don't have to.
Mabel that lives in a nice
speaks for itself.
area
Mhm.
and go after her and the little black folks that live out in that countryside
Yeah.
community, doing no harm to nobody. You know.
But he also was finna shoot the white guy.
And said, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Oh, I'm sorry.
Huh.
And then
Yeah.
he commenced to shooting the blacks.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And the security guards.
Yeah.
It's just sad. It's
It
just
is.
it's out of control.
It-
This
is.
racism and gun violence.
Yeah.
You put those two together, and it's a recipe for disaster.
it is, but also black on black crime. They keep
That's
saying
that. I
That's
think
the
that. I
worst.
think that's what we got to focus.
that's
first.
the worst
Right.
because
Because it affects so many communities in
But
so
but Black
many
Lives
ways.
Matter shouldn't matter when it shouldn't only matter when it's only the police. You know,
Right.
No matter
I
what,
tried
yeah.
to explain to another young person, you know, you talk about black on black crime, but you kill my son, you're deemed armed and dangerous. You know, so when they look for you, they're not finna give you cookies and milk. They're finna come after you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but you're killing each other. So
Yeah.
it all trickles down. It's a trickle effect.
And
It's
it,
gonna,
and it hurts families. Like Dre being murdered hurt your family,
yeah.
and the person that got caught, that hurt his family.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you know, it's just like you say, it's a trickle down effect.
Mm-hmm.
It affects so many people in so many different ways. It affects the neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
this people, like you say, is on this man's side, and then you got people on this man's side. Now you got a neighborhood war
It's on
because
alert. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just a never ending
And I had to
situation.
wait a year for a video because the person didn't want anything to happen to her home.
Right.
I had to wait a
Because
year.
nobody wants to get involved
They-
because they're
she-
scared.
But any person with a conscience, she said I couldn't live with it no more.
Right.
She
Yeah.
said he got shot right here outside of my house. I couldn't live with it. So any person with a conscience that killed someone, how she felt about a video,
Mm-hmm.
they would come forward. So these people have no remorse, like you said, no empathy or sympathy for anybody. If you can go on about your way and shoot someone 10 times, 12 times, rob them, however, and you don't come forward, you have no love in your heart at all.
And speaking of love in your heart, I got to get up to this gentleman right here because, you know, president of Detroit Lions Club, but I also doing mental health awareness. I'm also doing autism, and I'm also doing for the first responders.
Mhm.
And TC said, man, well, you know, you can come over here and do it here, man.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the brother has a good heart. And I'm going to let him tell you about a lot of things that he's doing over in that community. There's that West Warren. Give that address, too.
17621 West Warren. That's one block east of Southfield Freeway.
Right.
It's on the south side of the street. We're doing nice things over there. I'm a part of the Warrendale Community Association over there in the Warrendale area. Um, I have a night club, a lounge that we open our doors up for uh, things like volunteer work and things that promote empowerment in our city and within our community. Um, we also a venue for entertainment. I have one of the baddest DJs in the city, DJ Spoon,
That's right.
who rocks the house. We do
Yes.
grown and sexy and mature things over at my spot. We've never had any issues. Um, I just think it's a very nice place, a nice, comfortable place for the grown, sexy, and the mature people.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
um, but we do a lot of nice things over there. With a lot of volunteer work. We support a lot of different agencies, the Lions Club,
Yes.
Cancer Society,
Yes.
Nice.
um, Food for Cots for Kids, Christmas programs. We do a lot of nice things over there.
Nice.
Yes. So and I'm telling you, man, this guy, man, is so awesome, man. He got such a great heart. So if anyone would like to contact you
You can
to
contact
have an
me.
event there,
Yeah, for events, we do parties, um, reception parties, um, repasses, any type of event that you may feel comfortable, sharing with us. We can accommodate all of those events. We have a full staff catering service along with us. The place is just outstanding to me. It's got an inside, outside um, area, deck, um, patio, piped in music, and secure. So
yeah,
and that's one thing
That's what's
we put a
important.
lot
Yeah.
of fame and claim on what we do. We don't have any events. We don't have any problems with anybody. Um, we're a licensed liquor establishment place with an A1 rating. So,
Mhm.
so if anybody want to look us up, please feel free. It's the Good Night Lounge. You can contact me at 313-790-4568. That's 313-790-4568.
yeah,
My name is TC Black.
yeah.
Nice.
Once you do know,
Mhm.
TC, man, you are right here with the godmother of the DJs. We love DJ Spoon. That's our man. But the godmother, she's here too. You know,
Spoon, you heard it. You
godmother here
I'll
too.
put you out there.
I mean, you up 7 days a week. I mean, Spoon can't work every day.
No.
Yeah.
You're good, buddy, but I got a winner over here.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. You know, I kind of want to get back to some things about Lady One Step. Mm-hmm. You know, because you can feel music, you can feel your crowd, and I love that. And when they say the godmother of the DJs, I said, yeah, that's her. Now, who came up with that name again?
Jam Master Jay Jackson.
Okay.
He's called. He said, "You are the godmother of the DJs."
Yeah.
Okay. I'll run with that. I'll run with that.
That is true. Now,
and because I'm a lot older than most of the DJs, so he gave me that.
Okay.
And I run with that. Because that's nothing but respect to me.
Absolutely. That's good. Awesome. Now, what do you think about the? I want to kind of go back to black on black crime, because that's really, we are connected. We just don't know it. You know, a lot of us we don't understand it. You know, we don't understand who we are. We don't understand that. You know,
why would I hurt somebody that looked like me? She looked. We
you know,
and
even if you don't, you know, you're not so, you know, you got the same thing. It's what's in the heart that counts. Right. And if you got a good heart, you know, whether you're Chinese, white, you know, if you got a good heart, you know what I'm saying? That as being on this planet, I just got to say this, which the planet was your planet first.
Yes.
This whole earth.
This is true.
Not just Africa. People think that, you know, now it was the whole planet. You know, y'all was the first ones here. And one day I like to get into this little story about Adam. Now I'm gonna do a quick one. You know, Adam had 2 wives, you know, and Eve was the second one. He had the first wife, came from the dirt like Adam. And Adam couldn't handle her. He said, no, I don't. So he said, well, the Most High said, I'm gonna give you one from your rib. From the story of Adam. So you get one from the rib, and then that one influenced him to bite the apple. Mm-hmm. Now, Adam supposed to be representing men. I'm looking at 2 women, had him already whipped. He was whipped. He couldn't control them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wasn't a good father because you got one son killed the other. So I'm looking at the whole thing about the story of Adam. I said, wait a minute now. I'm deep in the scripture because I live in 613 laws out of scripture, but when something don't make sense, and then I have to look at the whole thing. I have to look at the X gene, the woman, and the Y gene, which the X gene is like 5 times stronger. Then you have to look at a woman can nurture, right? Then you have to look at a woman has both parts. So you look at all this and you be saying, wait a minute, I'm listening to that and that, but this make more sense, you know. So when you kind of get real deep, and I'm not going to get that deep, but it when I see women, ladies, when I see their strength, I have 5 daughters. I watch their strength, and then anything I say right now or do in my life, my daughters watch me. So I can never lie or be a hypocrite or treat a woman wrong because they're watching you. Because I'm telling them, this ain't the kind of man you want. You got to value yourself.
Because you are the one that sets the bar for what they will choose in their life. That's on you as a father and as a man. You have to set that bar for them to choose the man that they want to spend their life with.
Right.
So if your bar is low,
right,
don't get mad at them.
Right.
I definitely agree.
Man you love.
Yeah,
exactly.
I definitely agree with that.
So
yeah,
we watch, we see,
and see, as a mother, if I don't get along with you, I don't have to say anything because our child will figure it out.
Yeah.
That you're worthless. They'll figure it out. I ain't got to tell them.
Yeah, right.
I don't have to tell them. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, and to show you the value of a mother, right? That they always, you'll hear people say, okay, the man upstairs and our father, but then you come on earth and you look at Mother's Day. You get every corner. They got flowers, baskets.
Mm-hmm.
Father's Day, boy, you like if you get that phone call.
Yeah.
Right.
Compare that
Yeah.
and see who's got the better value of the world. Yeah. But you know, I say that to say that when I admire strong women, you know, I do, I do, and it means a lot. And I think that if we can get the truth, if we tell young men and young women the truth, things wouldn't be so bad. You know what I mean? Because
they need to hear it. They need to hear it. And the
Exactly.
problem is they're not accepting where they're hearing it from. You know, they're hearing it from people that don't walk the walk and talk the talk.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They're getting it from the streets. They're getting it from
right.
And I believe everybody have something for everyone to share. You know, even the drug addict, even the drunk, or anybody.
Right.
Because I believe that they do have some wisdom to share.
Exactly.
But it's all about what they're willing to accept. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to.
Like you said, it all depends on who the messenger is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who the messenger is. Did you get the message?
There you go. And
did you get the message?
And they. And that's not just the girls; it's the guys. Too.
Yeah,
it's the guys really.
Real.
They really
disrespect is real.
You know, being a male, and I don't know how you feel, but brother, I feel very at times disgraced by my male behind me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because it's like I'm like, for real, this is what we doing now. This is this is the type of respect that we're showing. And you got kids. You know what I'm saying? You got kids, you got girls, you got little fellas. This is what you're doing. You know?
What gets me is you'll see a video on social media and it'll be two women fighting. And instead of them breaking it up, they're videotaping it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Make it make sense. Please help me.
I don't understand that. I don't.
They won't step up as men.
Get?
They won't step up as men and say, y'all shouldn't do that.
It's like it feeds their ego. Like men are so disrespectful to the women nowadays. It's ridiculous. You know, I don't understand why. You know,
I do.
Bear their children.
And this, because it's already playing in their head. I'm the image of God, and you're not. And I'm raised to believe that you are second and third nature to me. I mean, men, believe it or not, mentally they put themselves on a pedestal that they didn't earn. Absolutely. They didn't. It was just brainwashed to believe that. But you know, and I'm not hard on men, but I'm harder on older men. Because if we look at a lot of things, and when you talk about these younger men, okay, what are we doing about it? We dropped the ball. Because, I mean, they ain't respecting us, and why they not respecting us? I don't care about the streets, okay? I don't care about the music, whatever you blame it on. What are you doing? What examples are you giving? Are you leaving us with anything? You know what I'm saying? And mainly knowledge. You know, that's where we are dropping the ball as older men.
But what I don't understand, and I'll never understand, these young guys, I'd say between 25 and 45. I'll put it in that range. How they're so disrespectful to women, but then you turn around and say how much you love your mama.
Come on. She's the image of your mother.
And also, as a woman, if you don't know how to lead, I'm not going to follow.
Right.
That's just it. I mean, I'm a strong woman. So,
there you go. There you go.
And then men are intimidated by strong women. So if I make more money or have a nicer house, you say this is what you want.
Right. Until
you get with the person who has their things in order. Not all things, but got things in order. So therefore, you might can teach me something. I can teach you something. But when it comes to the woman,
right?
If you make more money, you intimidated by it. You drive a nicer car or have more than one car. You intimidate, or you're living a little better. they're intimidated. So they always go get with someone lesser because they feel
Low
like
self-esteem, low
because they
self-esteem.
want they instead of knowing that you're on the same level, they don't get it. Like
Right.
I'm gonna put you on the same level as we're here.
Right.
But instead they want to get someone that they feel needs them instead of them needing you,
Yeah.
which we're supposed to be on the same level. So the whole thought process is wrong from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because we're on the same level. We're trying to get here together. I'm not here and you're here. We're here. So we're going to build it.
Now, I got to admit this. Now, some women are very disrespectful and crazy about it too. When they get something up there, you can't. They look so far down on you.
That's true.
I mean, they kind of could crush
That's
you
true.
too.
That's true.
Let's do another quick one.
That's true.
Get
You
one
are
in.
watching Stepping Up with Lady One Step on Cool Jazz WJZZ TV.
Yeah.
Streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all other social media platforms. And we are here today with Angela Holloway,
Yeah.
CEO and founder of Justice for Dre, and my man TC Black, owner of Goodnight Lounge over on West Warren. And we
Yeah.
are having a discussion about black on black crime,
Yes.
gun violence,
Yes.
respecting women, the
Right.
respect of men. And we might get a little deep for you, but don't turn away.
That's the godmother of the DJs. That's she is. That's right. That's right. She's gonna be playing some music too in the future. Also, we're gonna be doing a little quick segment that it's gonna be called the Soul Spot.
Okay.
We merged it in with Broom Entertainment. What that is that a lot of people put out music and don't have anywhere to go. I'm saying like they may go to Spotify and all that, but where those people is give you, well, here's $10 with the, you know, take a percentage of whatever we want to give. We give you half a penny on your sales. The thing is now is that we got to come up with more distribution. We got too many people control everything we do. Because when I say that, I'm gonna jump off and jump back. When you looked at Whoopi Goldberg and Nick Cannon, when they had to apologize for how you feel,
Right.
I can't sit up here and we're having a discussion, and I want you to apologize because
You feel
this is what I want you to feel.
Yeah.
You feel how I feel. I control your feelings now,
Yeah.
even though this is a talk show.
You can't have an opinion.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So we want to. But the thing is the same thing in music. It's like total control. So that means we linked up with Chicago, linked up with Nebraska, with Dallas, Texas, with Louisiana, Alabama, and there's more podcasts and radio shows that we'll be able to interview an up and coming artist. And then that artist can go to this spot, that spot, and then until we get a platform like Spotify and the rest of those guys, we're finding other ways where you can control the distribution of your music. And by me being a promoter, you know, for concerts, we are still looking for up and coming artists that we can more so groom and put you with a national act, you know, to start your career. Things gonna happen, and we have to be the ones to do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, and if it's not going to change, because you can sit back a lot of times when you don't have enough recreation centers, and you got boys playing basketball in the street, holding up traffic, but you got to think, if I had a spot for them to go, they wouldn't be in the street.
Exactly.
So we got to look at what we don't do. And we have to look at we got to understand our responsibility.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's just like I was talking to a guy on social media, and they were talking about the Sunday Fun Day, the drifting and the drag racing and all that. And his point was that land on 7 Mile and Lasher that used to be a golf course,
Yeah.
tear that down and make that a place where they can go drift and drag race at.
Yeah.
That's 5, 10, 20, that's 10 acres. Tear all that down and make that a place where they can go drag and drift at and not
Or
tear up the streets.
somebody a place that's not where a lot of traffic and homes.
Yeah. So
You know what I mean?
when
They
they
got to
not
create
acting
it.
fool- yeah,
we
when they
may
not
have to create it because if we went on faith,
because
Yeah.
I know you saw the video last year where they held up
the freeway.
Yeah.
they not only the freeway, but they held up
across
over
the
there
street
by him.
from
Livernois and
Livernois and West Warren.
Yeah.
They held that up.
Yeah.
Now if they had a place to go where they could do that,
Yeah.
a spot on the east side and a spot on the west side,
Yeah.
then that would eliminate a lot of the nonsense in the streets, holding up traffic and causing accidents and all the nonsense that goes along with that.
I agree. I totally agree.
And with the ATVs, now you on an ATV, they're gonna take your ATV because they're not street legal. Have a place in the city where they can ride their ATVs.
Taking them? Are they taking
They're
them?
taking them.
They're taking them.
Okay, because I see them guys ride through.
They just ain't got those, but they take them.
They haven't made it to your area yet.
They can't take them. They ride in bunches. About 50 of them.
Some stay at one time.
Yeah, so if I catch you by yourself.
Over in the Gratiot and French Road area, they snatched 45 of them.
Oh, wow.
They taking them.
They're taking them. But if they had a spot for them to go where they can ride their ATVs,
Yeah.
a spot on the east side, a spot on the west side, okay. Now you don't have to worry about them holding up traffic or getting hurt or whatever, and charge them for it.
Yeah.
See, that's what we need, soldiers like her to stand up and make it happen. We have to make it happen.
Yeah, we do.
Let's talk about your foundation because time is running short. Let's talk about the foundation, about your son. This is foundation in honor of your son.
I like that you're doing things. I want to get with you on some things. But I'm kind of the same as TC. I like to do school drives, clothing drives. And like I said, my goal is to get the resources out to families that don't know the state of Michigan has these resources. And I also want to give a shout out to the Luke Legacy and Bernice Ringo, because she is the one who invited me to march April 28th to watch the law be signed into the Senate, the law that was signed by the governor today. So I definitely appreciate her thinking of me and including me in something that made history.
Awesome.
So definitely Bernice Ringo. But for my son, that's a way for me to give back in his honor. I have email, justicefordre at gmail.com if you want to contact me for speaking, marches, rallies, or even if you want to find out how you can be a sponsor too as well. But I am open for everything. I like to get involved with everything from feeding the homeless to showers for the homeless. I partner with a lot of people to do things in the community for the homeless, and not just the homeless, but murder victims, families, just giving resources all the way around. Yeah.
Listen, we had on the show yesterday on community updates, we had Mr. Barwell along with Alberta Tinsley to lobby. She does Mac Alive. And then what he does is he packages the food for the homeless, and that and it's for the children, but it's for everywhere, all over the world. That he's right here in Michigan, and on the 28th in Michigan in Dearborn, we're going to be doing it again from 9 a.m. to about 1 in the afternoon, and we're going to be boxing.
At the Islamic
Boxing
Center,
food.
is that the one at the
It's a school
over there?
No, it's a Michigan Dearborn.
Okay.
It's a college, but it's a Dearborn. It's in Dearborn, and we're going to be doing that. And I'm saying that to say, when you talk about doing the homeless, you can go and volunteer and box up some stuff, and you can take it with you. Or if you have a location, for the food that you give away, they'll bring it to you. So I'll make that connect with you and him. They'll definitely bring it to you, because
that's my goal too after I retire, is to get a brick and mortar, because I want to do more than just resources for the homeless or crime victims. I also want to I used to work for Michigan Works. So I want to help people get on the computer, do resumes, learn how to job search, learn how to apply for jobs. And also I want to have something in the back of my building for job dressing. Suit jackets, dresses, hosiery, shoes for those who are going on job interviews that may not have the resources to buy things. Right. So I got a lot of ideas that I'm putting into works at this point. Right. And also I want to say that on April, let me see here. April. Nope.
Next year?
Nope. I got it. Don't worry. May 21st.
Okay.
June 18th and July 18th, there's going to be a walk for justice with Bernice Ringo, who allowed me to go to Lansing with her for her son at the Riverwalk. So it's a walk for justice for her. Okay. And also, Dalia Nicole is having a 12th annual Stump Out the Violence March and Rally Monday, May 30th, 11 to 2 in Pontiac at 47450 Woodward at the Pontiac City Hall. So if you want to get out and support them too as well for crime survivors, safety and justice,
Right.
you're more than welcome.
And if you missed all of that, you can catch the replay on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and sometimes Instagram. You can take a replay of Stepping Up with the godmother of the DJs, Lady One Step.
That would be me.
That's right. That's right. This has been beautiful. So we want to thank everyone, because our time is we're in seconds now. When you see that up there,
Right.
we're down to the seconds now. Thank everyone for coming out. But I'll let Lady One Step.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you. I
welcome.
appreciate what you're
I
doing
want to come
in the
back too.
community.
You gotta have me back.
Yeah.
I want to thank Angela for what she's doing in the community, and I want to thank TC for what he's doing in his community.
Thank you.
We
Yes.
need more
Thank
people
you.
like both of you
Yes.
Thank
because
you.
we need more support in the communities. And I thank you both for taking out the time to be on Stepping Up with Lady One Step here on WJZZ